Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to another session of our program, Learn and Speak Arabic Like the Natives in 6 months. If you're just joining this program, this is a program established for beginner learners to learn Arabic in a short period of time, in 6 months, bi'idhnillah. So if you're interested in learning Arabic, ensure to join this program, subscribe and turn on the notification button. And of course, yes, go stream the playlist. All of the lessons are there from lesson 1 until the current lesson that we have right now. In this lesson, this is lesson 10, module 11. We'll continue with Al-Idofah. Al-Idofah. So far, we've been talking about Al-Idofah, which actually is defined as connection, creating a form of connection between two nouns or a noun and a pronoun. To do what? To achieve formation of possessive sentence. Possessive. So basically, that is what Idofah phrase does a lot, to show some form of a possessive statement. For example, we want to say Halima's bag. Okay, the principal's car, the teacher spoke. Okay, so this kind of sentence is what we achieved by Al-Idofah. Okay, so in the previous session, we talked about Idofah, that's connection of two nouns, and where we demonstrated Idofah of a noun to another noun, or a noun to another nakra noun. So an Idofah, or connection of a noun to a ma'rifah noun, and of course to a nakra noun, making two things that we discussed under Idofah of noun to another noun. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at Idofah of nouns to pronouns. Okay, so for example, saying Halima's bag, right? So we want to say her bag. How do we say her bag? All right, so this is about noun to a pronoun. All right, so basically, let's talk about pronouns. Al-Dhamair, that's the plural of pronouns. Al-Dhamair, which is the singular is Dhamir. In the previous lessons, you may want to revise that. We've talked about the personal pronouns that we have. Huwa, hiya, anta, anti, and so on and so forth. So these are personal pronouns, termed as al-Dhamair. Termed as what? Al-Dhamair. So we have also learned that al-Dhamair is a ma'rifah. Al-Dhamair is actually a ma'rifah from the list of ma'rifah that we have. If you see lesson 9, we had a quick revision of what all kinds of ma'rifah that we have. So you may want to check it again. Now, pronouns or al-Dhamair could be classified into two. Pronouns could be classified into two, as you see here. Okay, and then we'll show which one we are going to be using for this purpose of Idofah. So we have two types. We have ضمير الضمائر المنفصلة. الضمائر المنفصلة, these are independent or detached pronouns, as you can see right here. And of course here, number 2 is actually dependent or attached pronoun. This is الضمائر المتصلة. Take note of that. الضمائر المنفصلة and الضمائر المتصلة. Alright? So, talking about الضمائر المتصلة, these are form of ضمائر المنفصلة. These are form of ضمائر that can stand alone. Okay? الضمائر المنفصلة, these are form of ضمير that can stand alone. Independently, they don't depend on any other thing. They stand alone. Okay, so now standing alone avail them to do some things, because they don't depend on other things. They can stand alone. It avails them to serve some functions. Okay, it have reason to serve some functions. What are these functions? The first function is it serves as subject as al-mubtada. Okay, to serve as what? Al-mubtada. So I'm gonna do this to serve as, and this is gonna take us to function. Okay, function. Just to ensure that it's well explained to you, so I'm gonna separate it and put it in this format. Function. Okay. Yes. So the first function is it could serve as subject. That's number one. It could serve as subject or al-mubtada. Okay, subject or al-mubtada. It could serve as subject or al-mubtada. Right, as you can see right here. Okay. So, and being al-mubtada, you know what that implies. It means it could be, it could, serve a purpose. It could work with, jumla ismiya. Jumla ismiya. This is where we use our mubtada. For example, huwa jamil. Huwa jamil. All right. So huwa is a pronoun here, which is a detached pronoun. Okay. So it is actually ضمير منفصل. You can stand alone and it's serving as a function of ضمير. It's having as a function of a subject, which is al-mubtada. Number two, the second thing it could do is dua, or subject of a verb. Number two is what? It could serve as subject of a verb. All right. So, and being, it's going to be dua, showing the one who is doing something in a simple verbal sentence, which is jumla fi'liyah. Jumla fi'liyah. Okay. So let's look at this example right here. So we have ja'a. Ja'a basically, it has a hidden fa'il, which is huwa. The huwa is hidden. So we say, take note. The huwa is a most hidden. Ja. Okay, so the dua is actually hidden in front of it. Okay, so but we don't write it. So that is for a verbal sentence, a simple verbal sentence. And so we can therefore say sentence can be divided into two. Jumla ismiya, and of course here, jumla fi'liya. All right, as we can see right here. Is that taken? Now let's move on. Now we're going to be talking about the second type of pronoun. The second type of pronoun, which is attached pronouns. ضمائر المتصلة, and this is where these are area of interest. This is what we need actually for this particular subject or topic. So the second type is ضمائر المتصلة, ضمير that attach. Okay, as we see here. So why do we call them muttasila or attached? Because they don't stand alone, basically. So let's look at their function right here. Function. So what do they do? The fact that they attach, they have their own purpose as well. So the first thing that they do is they serve as number one, object. So I'm gonna put it right here. One, they serve as object. Object pronouns. They serve as object pronouns. ضمائر النصب. Okay, ضمائر النصب. That's object pronouns. So meaning that they are attached to a verb. So they become object. Remember that the one that is independent, ضمير منفصل, cannot serve as your object. No. So because it attaches, this one can serve as an object. ضربته, I beat him. Okay. So I can also say رأيتك. All right, رأيتك. I saw you. Okay, so we're going to be having رأيتك. رأيتك. Is that right? The ka is a charged pronoun here. as who is an attached pronoun over there, right? To who. Okay, so if this is understood, this is one of the first function. Number two, it could also serve as genitive pronoun. ضمائر الجر genitive pronoun ضمائر الجر it could serve as that too. Okay, so and this is useful in an Idofah statement, an Idofah in a phrase. Okay, or when you use it to with a particular حروف الجر. ضمائر الجر can be achieved when you form a ضمائر, when you form a إضافة statement or إضافة phrase, or when you use it with a particular pronoun. All right. I mean, when you use it with particular particle of jar. So we're going to be treating these more in the subsequent lessons. But I'm going to give you an example for that particle. I'm going to give an example right here. So you have, okay, e.g. Okay, so yes, we can say al-kitab. Okay, so the book is with him. Okay, so with him is what we need here, right? So al-kitabu ma'ahu. Ma'ahu. You see that? So ma'ahu, yeah, ma'ahu is what we need right here. So I'm gonna make it bold. Okay, ma'ahu. You see that ma'a is a particle, and then it goes with who right there. So the who there is the how there is actually damirul jar. Okay, so when we get to i'rab, we're going to be talking about the i'rab. Now, however, in this module, we'll focus on the usage of attached pronouns on an idafa, in an idafa phrase. Okay, the use of attached pronoun in an idafa phrase. So now let's consider the following. So we're going to be looking at the first one, singular pronouns. Okay, singular pronouns. We all know our singular pronouns. You may want to revise the personal pronouns we have. For the singular one, we have the first person talking. We have ya, ضمير المتكلم, يا المتكلم. So you add it to your book. You say kitabun is a book, kitab, and when you add it to ya, it becomes kitabi. Kitabi, my book. Is book kitabuhu? Let's say who, which is him. Or yes, in this case, his. So kitabuha, her book. Ha is a pronoun here. Kitabuka, your book. Kitabuki, your book, for feminine. All right. Now let's look at the dual. Let's look at dual. So for dual here, two people. Kitabuha, kitabuna, our book, for two people. Kitabuhuma, their book, two people. And kitabukuma, your book, two people also. Two people you're talking to in front of you. Now let's look at the plural. Okay, so plural form. Na is also for horse. Just what I have it in English. Kitabuna, our book. Kitabuhum, their book. That's for masculine. And then kitabuhunna. Okay, that's for feminine. Their book. And kitabukum, your book, kum. Okay, and kitabukunna, your book, for feminine. Okay, so let's quickly, go through the grammar tip here, right here. So please, you need to have your pen and paper to jot lessons down. It's very important. Grammar tip. So we know that in the above attached pronouns, we use them differently in different forms: singular, dual, and plural. So for the singular format, let's consider the following. We have the yeah. Okay, we have the who, the ha, the ka, and the ki. That's the pronouns, the attached pronouns. So we're going to take yeah, for example. This yeah is a first person pronoun. Okay, so it's used to talk about yourself. Okay, so now the yeah, it carries a sukun, and it's a yamad. So we talked about the fact that a yamad is a long vowel, has a peculiarity. It goes with a kesra, which is the singular short plural, short hierarchy, short vowel. Remember the principle, we said that long vowels go with every long vowel has a corresponding short vowel. So yeah, long vowel, which is yamat, goes with a kesra. And that's why the letter to which the ya is attached must have a kesra because it is a ya. Okay, and it has to choose its correspondent from the single vowel, which is a kesra in this case. All right, so that's what we have. So kitab becomes kitabi. Sayyaratun becomes sayyarati. In that manner, I believe that's understood. So yes, we can also say pen. Qalamun becomes qalami. In that manner, that's the way you do it. Now let's take some examples right here. My car, sayyarati. My cupboard, khizanati or khazanati. Okay, so yeah, my cupboard. Yes, it's a khizana. Khizanati. Okay, or sometimes khazana. All right. My pen, qalami. My mother, ummi. My drawer, jaruri. Jaruri. It has to be in that manner. So look at this int right here. Khazana is another word for. Another word for is dulab. Dulab, it's also could mean cabinet. Okay, or draw or physically, cupboard. Because if you want to say kitchen cabinet, how do you say that? Kitchen cabinet. Kitchen cabinet. We said dulab can mean cabinet. So, of course, yes. Or cupboard. So you can say dulab al-matbakh. Dulab. Yeah. Dulab al-matbakh. Okay, dulab al-matbakh. Is that taken? So that's what we have right here. Or khizanati. Khizanatul matbakhi. Okay. Now let's look at let's consider the dual and plural pronouns. All of these, which what we have right here. Okay, so the attached pronouns is what we have up here, right here. Okay, so kum, kunna. Okay, hunna, na, huma, and kuma. Is that okay? So that's what we have. Try to study all of this as we have it right here. And of course, here, you've talked about it in the previous lesson, so you can check the lesson there for proper explanation. So we have said that these pronouns can serve as object. They can serve as object pronoun, and I've shown us some example right here. So it's very important to take note of that. Okay. Now let's see briefly how they can be used in a verbal sentence using an example that we are all familiar with. Every Muslim will say this every time when someone do good to you. You say jazakumullah khair. You say jazakumullah khair. Right? Say jazakum. Jaza is a verb. Okay, so let's look at that. Jaza is a verb which means he rewarded. Okay, and it is used to mean when you pray, when you use it in this manner, yeah, you mean you're praying for that person. Okay, usually past tense verb are used to pray for person, So jazakum. Jaza is a verb while the pronoun kum is actually the attached pronoun, the object pronoun in this case. And this is applicable to any of them, any other pronouns that you can have. Now I'm going to give you a quick example which you're going to be doing. So I want you to translate right here. May Allah reward you. May Allah reward us with good. How do you say that? May Allah reward you too with good. May Allah reward two of them with good. Okay, so how do you put this? Please submit your answer in the comment section. And of course, you will be responded to. Thank you for coming through the video, and ensure that you subscribe if you're just joining, so that you can, and also turn on the bell button so you can always receive notification. Thank you so much. Barakallahu fiqh. Assalamu alaikum.